afternoon, adventurers. How are you today? That's right. It is Friday, the 22nd of September. And here at the Collective in Altamont Springs, Florida, it is time for John's Dungeon Corner. So, wow, I got a lot of stuff to go over today. It's going to be an item-packed kind of show, I tell you. We're going to talk about some cool things that I was emailed about, which is really neat. A game within a game is what you could call that. Games within game, I should say, because more than one game. But let's talk about some of the wonderful things that have come out. Let me put my glasses on, of course, so I can say, hey, Antonio, welcome to the show. I just started. Just got going, so you just got here right on the nick of time. All right, so let's take a look at this. Look at this. So for all you Phandelver folks who have ran the Mines of Phandelver and who bought the second box set, check this out. Phandelver and Below, the Shattered Obelisk, a whole brand new adventure. Look at that. That's a beautiful cover. The ampersand is right here. It's a green dragon. I love the way they did that. It's very shiny, very foily. The obelisk. So this is, of course, a continuation of the Phandelver campaign. The wonderful thing about these things is, and I say, you know, but it basically goes, it covers the beginning, and it goes, it actually covers like the entire original campaign and then some. I'm not going to spoil anything because if you're running it and you have not finished it or wherever you may be, I'm not going to spoil it, but it comes in this beautiful book. Look at that. With art in it, of course. There goes the map of Phandalin. You know? But here's the neat thing. Back here. Look at that. You get all these new creatures, of course. The creatures that are in there. You get some of the maps. But, of course, now this one's mine. Of course, because Antonio already has one. Look at that. Here's the map. And this is a nice big map. Yes, I will be using it. It's just amazing. It's an amazing book. And they have a few. It looks, it's gorgeous. I'm telling you, look at that. It's just, oh, there we go. If you can catch you can actually see it. Look at that. It's beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So that's Phandelver and Below. Very nice. Now, this is really nice. This just came in. This is from Loki Battle Maps, which I love their maps. This is a Battle Maps company encounters monsters and adventure. It's the Veiled Dungeon. Now here, as you can tell, there's 20 fold-out maps in here. Okay. 10 double-sided 11 by 17 sheets, and they're wet and dry marker compatible. Look at that, guys. Girls, Dungeon Masters, players. You got 40 monster cards. You have 105 random encounters, 5 adventures, Raiders of the Cerulean Ruins, a dungeon adventure generator, and 40 unique monster stats and descriptions. Okay, this is by Loki Battle Maps. This is a definite must. I'm going to have to add to my player. You can use it as a standalone, or you can put it into your campaign. So, I mean, it's amazing. Look at that. And the maps. I mean, the maps alone. And let me tell you something. I usually don't give out prices, right? Because I want you to come back. This is only $40 for this box set. What you're getting in this box is well worth it. I mean, it's just amazing. I love when people come out, when companies come out with these, and you can get a free digital copy. It says here it's 5e compatible, so you can just drop it right into your campaign as little side adventures and all that. Yeah. Okay. So that's some of the new things that have come out. This is really neat from Critical Role. The Crown Keepers. Look at these miniatures. 6 miniatures. Really nice. In the back, you can kind of see them a little bit better. I believe there's a bunny person in here. So that's really nice. Take a look at that, huh? That's really nice. Really nice miniatures. Okay, so that's some of the new stuff that has come out, and it's amazing. If you haven't gotten one yet, you need to come on down before they run out because they're gorgeous. I mean, just the artwork inside, and especially in this the Fendelvin and below. I like that kind of thing because it accents the campaign, and it comes out and gives you it's really nice when you're running a campaign and you have something to show. Um, a picture or a map or a diagram or something that you can give the players, show them. Like, okay, when you have a monster, it's really neat. And these monster cards are really cool that are in here because you have a monster card you can give the players and they can look at the monster and see it visually. Or if you have a miniature, I mean, that's nice too, but a picture of the monster. Happy Friday, Sarah. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. So there's a lot of neat things that can happen. So, okay. And let me tell you, those are restocking miniatures. I'm not going to bring all the miniatures out because I got so much stuff up here today. But, I mean, a green – actually, look, I'm going to go get one. This is – you know me and dragons, right? Okay, I'm going to go off the screen because I like doing that every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? I love running off. But look at this. So they got the Gargantuan green dragon in that you can paint yourself. Okay, there it is. Really nice. Really nice pose. I like that with the arm up like that. Like it's about to swipe somebody. I love that. In fact, I'll just kind of put that, well, right there. Like I said, I ran out of space. But yeah, the dragon came in. There's a bunch of bigger figs. There's a bunch of miniatures that were restocked, both monsters and miscellaneous things like the torture rack, the statues on the fountain. That's a really neat one. The one that has the it's a horseman and he's on a fountain. It's really nice. That make a nice centerpiece for something. You've got, of course, a lot of the adventures have come back to full color. Let me tell you something. When you want a miniature and you don't have time to paint it, and you just want to kind of either for an NPC or PC, especially for a PC because it gets you a starting point. The miniatures out there fully painted, you know, in different poses, different character classes, character races. They're out there. Got a nice restock on those. So definitely take a look at that. I'm going to put this guy over here. I'll put him right there. Boom, bam. Okay, so you can see it. Along the bottom, for anybody who's joining us that's new, johnsdc2021@gmail.com. Yep, this show has been going on now for 2 years. And it's going strong, and we always got stuff to talk about because new things are always happening. And I'm always getting lots of different questions. And sometimes I get the same questions, and we rehash them, and that's okay. I like that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? All right, so this is really neat. I'm really excited about this. Somebody had emailed me, and I've gotten a couple emails, but this one in particular says, okay, so basically it comes down to my players. They want to do something different. They don't want to go shopping because, you know, we talked about doing the merchant scene where you go out to the merchant, into the merchant area, but it's a bazaar or a fair or just whatever, merchant day, perhaps a festival or something, and they go and they do that. But okay, so let's kind of get away from that, right? That we've done that. So what do we do with players? I mean, we can do the in-between game sessions, you know, where, okay, I'm going to go build something. And you can actually, if someone's trying to develop a magical item, or they're trying to copy a certain spell or look for a certain spell, that's a little something that you can do with them also. You know, it may be just for this character, but if you send them somewhere they have to go, they got to travel there. It may be a dangerous area that they're going to because this guy, the wizard that they're trying to look for, he's very reclusive, kind of eccentric. So it's a dangerous area that he's in, but he's strong enough to keep the monsters at bay. But you get in there is a totally different story, right? So this is along the I need more yarn. Okay, this is where we're going with all this. That's why I wore the shirt today. So what do we do? Well, here's a great idea. There is the idea of the casino, the gambling hall. All right, and on the back of the Pathfinder Flip Mat Terrain Multi-Pack in the Tavern Multi-Pack, guess what's on the back of this? Look at this. It's a casino, a gambling establishment. Look at this craziness, huh? So there it is. Look at that. All right. All nice white marble. It's got private gambling tables. It's got, you do all kinds of cool stuff here. So anyway, so there it is. Now, this, of course, is one of the many mats that I've talked about. All right. I always talk about, maybe not this one in particular, but I'm always talking about the flip mats and the dry erasability of them. And so this is the actual casino, which is really, really cool because unbeknownst, and I don't know how many players may know, a lot of you may know about this. Oh, wait. Let me show you this book also. This is the big book of battle maps, room vaults, and chambers. Okay. Here for sale at the Collective. There is one in here. This one right here, in fact. All right, is a casino. It looks like this one here. See it right here? Okay. Right there. That can be used as a casino. And I think there's one in the bigger one too, but they're not all, they're sold out. So, but anyway, this is also, plus it has all kinds of other cool maps. But these are really nice. If you want unique locations, these are really cool to use also. So there's that. All right, the big book of battle maps. This is awesome, though. This is I think this is like, this is a 17 by 24, I believe, or something. But, on the one side, it's got a tavern. It can have an underground gambling casino that's illegal, that nobody knows about. Well, everybody knows about it, but nobody knows about it. You know how that goes. First rule of the casino is we don't talk about the casino. All right, so let's talk about now the cool things. There are 3 games in particular that were made with Dungeons and Dragons in mind. One of them is an oldie but goodie, has been around forever. Excuse me. Hi, Nancy. How are you? Welcome to the show. Look at all the cool stuff up here, huh? What was I saying? Yeah, the 3 games. There's 3 games in particular. And there's a lot of games that you can use, and we're going to get into that. But these 3 games, I believe, were especially because the first one has been around, oh my gosh, it's like an oldie but a goodie, and it's 3 Dragon Ante. This game has been around for such a long time. It's a lot of fun. I'm hard at work. Love all the stuff. Yeah, good stuff. Some new books and miniatures have come out. But 3 Dragon Ante it's of course based on dragons. Yes, it is. And I've played it a few times, and it's something that is awesome to put in your casino. Let me see. What is it? Up to 6 players. So you can have 2 to 6 players. So depending on the size of your group, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, okay? You can play it. You can actually use this as an adventure too. And you can incorporate this a lot of different, and I'm not going to really get into the game because it's been around for a while. Just 3 Dragon Ante. That's an oldie but a goodie. This is amazing. It's for sale here, of course. Now, this is really neat. A lot of you have heard of the Great Down Moody or played the Great Down Moody in that. And so here it is. This is the Dungeons and Dragons version of the Great Down Moody. Okay. This is also a card game. And so you can be anything from the Rat Catcher up to the Great Down Moody. And the fun part about this is you can really take this into role playing. So this is in your casino. I think this plays up to 4 or 5 players. But the whole idea is you deal out the entire deck, and you play it. It's kind of like, almost like equated to kind of Uno. Everything's ranked from like 1 to 14, I think it is. And then, of course, the lower the number, the better the card. That's the thing. The Great Down Moody's 1. There's only 1 of him. Then there's a 2, a 3, a 4, Great Merchant, all these kind of things. It plays is a lot of fun. And what you do with the game to take it like a step further, okay? Now, you can gamble on it, right? You could gamble with it, put in your coin, silver, gold, whatever it is you decide to do it. Set up the rules. Make sure that you set up the rules for them, all right? And say, okay, this is the buy-in. Each hand is a silver maximum raise of X. Or you can just say, okay, it's unlimited. Whatever, just like a real casino, right? Anyway, so the neat thing is you could get hats. The original Down Moody. And so the Great Down Moody, you could get like one of those crowns with the little jewels in it, right? At one of the at one of the Halloween stores or anything that sells anything like that. One of those little gold crowns, and that's the Great Dalmuti's hat. And then as you go down, the hats get less and less. The great merchant might have a hat with a feather in it or something, or a single gem because he's the merchant, and so on down the line until you get to the rat catcher. Now the rat catcher, he's gonna have like a straw hat. He gets a straw hat and that's it, right? And it might be one of those hats that have like pieces coming out of it that doesn't look quite right. Hey, he's a rat catcher. What do you want out of him? Now there is a fool, a player who plays. There is a fool, and you can actually have a hat for that, and it could be like an actual fool's hat, right? Like I have one that's a Mardi Gras. I have little bells on it, so it's gold, purple, and green, and it's just neat. And so as you sit around the table, let's say there's 7, 8 players, whatever, everybody has a hat. Now you can have certain people use the same hat, like in the middle group, right? That's not very noble. They're not at the noble end of things, but they're a little bit better than the rat catcher in that, right? So we got to give them something half decent. You can just have hats, and you can make them fun hats or just nice hats, whatever you want. And that's the way we play that. And then you go around the table, and each hand in and of itself is a full game. So the idea is to be the first one to go out. The first person who goes out becomes the Great Dalmuti. So technically, the rat catcher, if he were to somehow go out first, he could sit there and become the Great Dalmuti. He'd be the Great Dalmuti the next hand. So now he gets the crown. So you know how it is. Once you get to the top, it's hard to stay at the top. So that's what this game's all about. And you can you can set up bets on all kinds of things. You can do like little side bets as to like who's going to win or how many rounds it's going to be for the person to go out. And there's a lot of ways because we've done this. It's been done. And it's a lot of fun when you do that. Okay. And this will take up, oh my God, you can play this game and then you can play some Three Dragon Annie. But here we go. Now this is a dice game. And this is it's Dracari's Dice. All right. And this is kind of like the same concept. You want to sit there and run out of your dice first. And you have knights and you can roll dice. There's dragons and fireballs and blanks on these. And the idea is to be the first one to go out. Hey, Jason, welcome to the show. So this is called Dracari's Dice. You can also, they sell them here. You can order it. It was also a fun game that you can use in your casino. And you can bet on, once again, the idea is to give the players a chance to spend money, not buying magical items, not buying items, just to kind of see things. Your character is dead, make a new one. Oh my gosh. No, there's no killing of characters today. No killing of characters today. Everybody gets to live today. We're in the casino. But yes, so you can find creative ways of betting. Your character. Yes, my character. All right. I don't have a character anywhere. So, okay, they're all safe. Thank you. But so those are 3 games that you can play during a session. You can just make a session of it. There's a casino. There's a gambling establishment. All the characters go there. Who are there. And this is also great to do. Let's say some of your party members aren't here. And I was just thinking about this. You can just say, okay, well, you know what? Why don't you guys, let's all go to the casino and see what happens. You can have a session of nothing but the casino. Okay? Once again, here's the map board. I have the map board. You don't even need this. You can just say, hey, here it is. But I love the map board because they can sit around the tables, you know. And here's the fun part. So those 3 games are basically really D&D kind of games. Things that you would play in a fantasy game or that kind of a game. There's also... And the reason I have all these dice out here is, now I don't have a fancy schmancy cup, although there are fancy schmancy leather cups that you can use for, this is really nice. This is like a bonsai tree. Excuse me, oh my gosh. This is a cherry blossom tree branch on there. And then we have this one, which is like a dragon scale kind of thing. Look at there. But these are cups that you can put dice in, right? And we can play bonus. And there's a lot of different ways. I mean, there's so many different iterations of this thing. But I have 6 six-sided dice, nice big ones. But there's 12. There's 12 dice in here. There's a lot more dice in here. There's, let's see, 12. We got 12, 36 dice in here. Okay, so you can use different colors. You can say use the same numbered dice, but you guys have seen this, right? On Davy Jones's locker, on his boat, when oh my gosh, what is Will's father is on the bootstrap, right? And he's playing dice with Davy Jones, and they got the barrel, and they sit there and they put their thing down, and then they're looking at it, and of course, they're trying to bluff their way through. You can use as many dice. I like using 6 dice myself, just depending on the number of players. I like to start with 6, and what you can do is you can add 1 per player. So if you had 7 players, you'd use 7 dice. So let's say we have 6 players. Boom. Okay, so I look at my dice. You're looking at your dice, and you say, you want to start out low. Now the bets are going in. Okay, so you got bets. And here's where you can get creative with this game. You can set up a little table and split it up, and you can just use some of these boards, the blank boards, to do it. And you can print it out, and you can have like, okay, someone's going to have like a really good one, like 6 6s, all 6s. You just put all 6s. Okay, you put all 5s. So where every die came up, and then you can put like, or if you're doing it like in a poker style, because you can do this also in a poker style, you can use all different as a pair, a 3 of a kind, and you can bet on that as to what your winning hand is going to be, or what the winning hand is going to be. Maybe it's double if you can guess what winning hand you're going to have. I mean, if you think, hey, I'm going to get 4 of a kind, you can bet on a 4 of a kind. And if you actually have the 4 of a kind, the bet could be like 1.5 times rather than just what you won, right? If somebody hits the 4 of a kind. So there's a lot of different ways you can do the betting. I'll leave that up to the individual dungeon masters. But with this game, you go, so we're going here. I'm going to go, okay, somebody will say like 2 1s. Someone will say 3 1s, 2 2s, 3 2s, 4 2s, 3 3s. I actually have 3 5s. So I would go 3 5s and so on and so forth until somebody says, ha, you're lying. And they have to uncover. And at that point, you can do different things. They have to pay out. They lose their money. Whatever the bid is, whatever the buy-in is, they lose that. The person who caught them wins. And then, of course, if you had different bets, like, oh, look, I bet that there'll be 3 5s over here or something. However you want to do it. Like I said, there's so many different ways to do the betting. Okay, there's so many ways to play this. Oh, wow, okay. This would be interesting. So let's get to the. I'd go 3 2s. Somebody would say 4 2s. It goes around and around, and 5 2s. And on something like that, they might call you out, and I'd go, ha! I'd win. But anyway, look at that. But anyway, so you get the idea. These all get, and then you can play the regular card games too at a casino. You can play the blackjack table. Roulette might be a little hard. Maybe you could use like a D100 or a set of percentile dice, possibly. Okay, to come up with the numbers 0. Of course, there wouldn't be a 0 like there normally is on a roulette table. It'd be like 0, 1 to 100, and people can bet on those numbers. And that's easy to do because you just go, okay, hey, look, I'm going to bet on black. Of course, it's black and red. You can make them whatever colors, black and white, white and orange, but whatever. And then you can have people with percentage dice in front of you, and they go, well, I'm going to bet on, so all the odds are red, all the evens are black, right? Let's just keep it simple. And you go, okay, I'm going to bet on black. I'm going to bet on black, and I'm also going to bet on the number 33. So, and then you roll the percentage dice is the thing. You shake it, and then boom. And that's like the ball falling into the little spot. So you can do it that way. You can play, Texas Hold'em. You can play any style of poker or baccarat or whatever game you want. You can play craps, let them roll dice. I mean, who doesn't like dice rolling, right? And you can set up the table to bet. So there is so many, and the rules for all these games are actually online. So you can go and look at how do they play, how is the crap table played, how do they play baccarat, how is the roulette betting done, and you can find it out in reality and then just set it down, And you can have tables, You can have the cheapy tables that people play at for like coppers and silvers, and then you got the gold tables and where you can bet a platinum. Whoa, and the 100 gold tables, and so on and so forth. Depends on how high rolling your characters want to get, right? And you can do it differently if you have friends or another dungeon master who just wants to come over. Like I have a big party at home, which I'll probably end up. This is going to be happening. It just hasn't happened yet. But they're going to get to a big city that's going to have a gambling establishment, and I'll invite someone who's not a part of the game, a dungeon master, to come in and run a table. And I may have 4 players or 5 players playing the Great Down Moody and laughing over here while somebody's over there playing Three Dragon Annie. Or I'm running, a blackjack table, and they may be running Texas Hold'em, whatever. And if I actually have that many players, so and if some of the players want to get involved, they might. Oh, I want to sit there and run this Decurious Dice. All right, you set up that table, and the players go over there, and the more choices, the more fun. There may be only 2 players here, 3 over there, 2 over there, but the idea is that you give them. It's a fun way to spend an afternoon. You're still role playing because hey, you never know. That may be the way that they run into one of their patrons. Okay, the guy's got money. He's there gambling. He may be a baron's son. He might be a count's son, a duke's son, whatever. Daughter, hey, whatever you want to do, right? But there it is. And that's a whole session there. And it may be that they may have to go to get. You can even make it a part of, hey, you're going to be meeting your patron at such and such. It's a private gambling, blah, blah, blah. You're invited. They play various games. And there you go. Say you have a small game that weekend, you only get out like 2 or 3 players. That would be the perfect time to unleash something. And then you can do it later on for everybody else when everybody else is there. But that's what I'm getting at, okay? That is awesome. It's a lot of fun. It really is. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, because somebody asked me about these. Now, I have all 3. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough space to have all 3 out. But so this comes, there's actually 4. The castle, the temple, the town, and the dungeons and sewers. These are amazing. If everything fits in this one box, this box that you see right here, it's called Tenfold Dungeon. This is the dungeons and sewers, and it all fits right in here. Okay. Now I'm gonna move the box so I can have some room. I'm gonna move the dragon over here. I kind of want to show you what it's like. So it comes just like this in a box. Okay. The neat thing is, yep. Look at, ooh, heavy stuff. But it's all together. So there we go. The big parts can be used. This is how neat this is. This opens up. Boom. Look at that. Here's a room. Okay. This is a dungeon room. Now, the neat thing is this is actually a room. Each one of the boxes itself is a room. So this is a room. This is a hallway. Now, these can also, here's a hallway. That's the blank one. This is more like a pool of water in the dungeon, or it could be a room. Okay. Here's another hallway. All right. Now I'm not going to break all this down, but these are the little pieces to hold everything together, to put it together. All right. Then you got the doors, and and then there's actually the bellow below. There's actually an adventure in here you can use as a standalone, or you can put it in your campaign. Then there's all these, and as you can tell, everything fits inside everything else. So here's another hallway where you can bang apart a door. Here's a spiral staircase, and everything is delineated. There's a door right here. You can't see the door, or maybe you can't see it right there. Let me see if I can get that. Yeah, there we go. There's a door right there. Okay. A bridge over the water. There are doors in these, all right, that you could actually. So there, it's not like you can place the doors wherever you like. It's really neat. Hold on. Here's another room, a little bit bigger room. Okay. Each one of these, like I said, is a room. You can use them as hallways. Now, here's the neat thing. The hallways fit inside the room. So everything I'm unboxing, as you see, just is like another room. Look at that. Another piece, a hallway. Okay. Here's another room. This one's got a pool of water, or you can just say the water's not even there. And it's just a room if you want to use it like that. Okay, so you got big rooms. Then here's another one with a big pool of water. It's another big room with a little bridge, and you can put all this together. Okay, now here are the doors. The little doors, double doors if you want to use them. All kinds of doors there, square doors, round doors. Okay. More pieces that you can use. I haven't used this. I haven't broken this out yet because I have this specifically for a particular dungeon that I want to build. But this is great for traveling. Okay. On the other side, okay, the doors are now open. As you can see. This is really nice the way they change things up a little bit, right? Okay. And it all fits right back in here, just like that. So there's plenty of rooms. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 huge rooms, 2 big medium-sized rooms. Here's a staircase. You can put some of these things. If you wanted to build a room, this could turn into a room. This could turn into a long hallway, a T-junction with a hallway in it. Okay, and you just hold them together and you build it out. Now here's the neat thing. So I also have the temple. All right, the temple's basically the same thing. Different rooms, of course, is more themed for a temple cathedral kind of thing. But because they're all the same concept, they're all part of the same series, I can put this together and create this huge dungeon that runs out. And it's a dungeon. And if I wanted to sit there and make it another level, which I've kind of been playing around with, you could just flip one of these over, right? So you can sit there and take, all right, so here we go. Let me show you, for instance. All right, so you take this guy and you put him inside here, all right? Or you can do it like this. All right, so this room, it ran away from me. All right, so here we go. So that room runs to a staircase. The staircase goes up to another level. Boom, boom. I wish I could show you it's a lot. I don't have unfortunately, the big room, but it's neat. Those are the same level, as you can tell, right? I'm trying to kind of show you here how this would work. And these are a different level. So you actually have this neat going up to a second level, as you can see right here. Okay. Visually, it'd be neat if I could do it on it, but there's just, yeah, as you can tell, there's just not enough room there. But anyway, so the nice thing about all this is when it's time to put it back away, you just stack it back in, you know? So these go back in. It's really neat the way it all fits back in. You just, make sure I put everything back. It only goes in certain places, so you have to put things back. There, so there's that right there. And it's a nice, by the way, it's nice and sturdy, these dungeons are. They're okay. They're very well made. I'm very happy with them. I've not played with them because they haven't gotten to that point yet. Okay, to where I want them to be before this comes out. But it's usable anytime you're ready to use them. And then you just flip this over. And there it is, put away. Just like that. All right, and there it is. And it's all put back away. If you could buy 2 of these, if you want to make a bigger dungeon, you can just use the different sets. Let me show you the temple. There's the temple. That's what the temple looks like. Okay. And it has rooms and hallways and just really cool things. And it's differently themed. Now, here's the neat thing. This has 6 staircases. The staircases with it. All right. 2 of each of these. So if you want to take those out and use them with the dungeon, well, you can. If you want to use an actual staircase that goes up. So I'll show you a couple pieces. And once again, that's a big room right there. Okay. So with these 2 sets, I've got 4 rooms that are like this. Huge rooms that I could do massive battles in if I wanted to. Let me kind of flip this over because I don't want to open up the wrong end, right? Now this is cool. Once again, now this one's differently situated. You notice that the other one had 3 really long pieces. This one has 3 more hallways that you can use. So if you want to do long hallways to connect them, okay, you got all kinds of, you put these together for rooms. Once again, you get the clips and the stairs. And then these have different size rooms, okay? These are different size rooms here. These are 2 separate. So you can put them side by side. You can put them like so. The staircase leading up to the dais or not, okay? You've got, now this is really neat. Now watch this. These actually come apart. And look, we got more rooms. This was just slightly smaller than the other. So it fits inside of it. But look, you really can't tell. It's really cool the way they did this. I was like, wow. So I got all 3 sets that they had. I'm waiting. They ran out of the town one, so I didn't quite get my hands on that one. But once again, you got daises. And you can just choose these as regular rooms because the squares are there. The one of the squares are actually there, so you can use them. And then, of course, this also has, this is called the Serpent Stone. It's an adventure that you can use also. And the reason this all came about, my bringing these out, is that someone asked, hey, is there something that's a little easier than the Warlock tiles? Okay, I'm going to leave that out, but look at, I'll show you this one also. See, it's a nice big space. And once again, you can just say it's an empty room. You came in, oh my gosh, there's these. You can set up tables in here. You can set up other things and just have a big grand battle in there. These doors, like I said, are a little different. There they are open. They're more based on, like I said, a cathedral temple type, which is what this set is. But so what I'm getting at is these things all, because Gale Force makes them to where they're interchangeable and usable. With 2 of these, you'd have, oh my gosh, there's like 14. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd say you're probably about a dozen and a half rooms, maybe 20 rooms or more. I think from 18, a dozen and a half to 2 dozen rooms with the hallways and doors. And you can build a nice big dungeon with this. And you can carry it. Let me show you what I carried it in. This bag, my wonderful wife bought for me while we were at the fair. Okay. And you can order these. You can order this. I really like it. It's for gaming. It's by, oh my gosh. Misty Mountain Gaming. Okay, they can be ordered through here, but it's really nice. Looks really cool, and I carried it in there, so they fit in the bag. I brought them out, and want to give them props because it's nice, and they got all kinds of game bags. So those are nice to carry all your things in, but they fit right in there. Both these boxes fit in there, so I'm able to bring them out as a portable dungeon with me anywhere. Okay, and both of them fit in there, and you can bring one if you want, and you can fit stuff on. Well, however you want to arrange it. The thing is that yes, there are products out there other than the Warlock tiles, and I love Warlock tiles. I know they're a little different, a little difficult sometimes to carry, and that's why I wanted to show you an alternative. And the collective has all that. I got everything here at the collective, and I don't. The bag obviously came from a Ren Fair, but what am I going to tell you? They do a great job here of carrying up just about any kind of product that you want and need, or that you might not know that you need until you need it, right? So, great stuff, good stuff, transportable, doesn't take up a lot of room. Same thing with the game mats. The game mats are wonderful. The books are wonderful because you have in here, there's 30 different rooms that you can set up. There's 60 white clean RPG pages in here. You flip it open. It gives you a nice hall, a room, a cave. Here, of course, the game mats are. I love them. One side is an inn. Okay, the other side is a gambling casino. If you don't want to use that, just use a blank board or you don't even need to use it. Just take some minutes to some tables, or just say, hey, you're in the casino, let's play, and there you go. Like I said, you don't need all this, but the question was, is there something that's more viable to carry than the Warlock tiles because they have them. It's just so I wanted to bring these out because this is specifically why I do a lot of games in different places. I do a game on Wednesday nights here. And so if I want to bring something that's cool to set up, this is the answer. I'm not going to bring my Warlock tiles because those take a while to put together, or you have to bring them in pieces. They're gorgeous. And I set up the Dragon Song Inn, and the players were like, whoa. I mean, it was beautiful. It must have been, well, in game terms, the Dragon Song Inn is probably is the third largest Adventurers Guild, and it's right at about 13,000 square feet. So if you could just imagine 5 foot tiles making up 13,000 square feet of ground floor, a second floor above, and a basement below. Oh, it's beautiful. It's so much fun. And, you know, another one, another gorgeous piece that my wife bought me for Christmas was the inn where the, oh my gosh, my brain, my apologies, my brain is kind of fuddy-duddy. The Yawning Portal Inn, where the Yawning Portal is, I have that miniature. I have not broken it out because once I set it up, I want to be able to leave it set up. But it's beautiful also. It's another gaming piece that you set up and you can use it. And it's really neat to use those. I've always believed that, you know, you want to be able to see, touch, and feel whatever it is, wherever you are, as best as you can recreate it. And these pieces are wonderful additives to your game. Do you have to have them? No. But I love having them because it gives them a visualization. If they want to pick it up, you know, and afterwards, if they want to pick it up and go, wow, this is really neat the way they did this. And it's twofold. You can turn it into a lower, you know, with a staircase. Now we're going up a level. You know, we're going to go up a level here. And then you can set up the rest of the dungeon on a second level. And I've always wanted to do that. It's not easy. I'm going to tell you something. It's actually quite difficult to do because the what do you call it? There's a lot of these clear plastic, the polymer plexiglass that people set up to set up a hall. It's hard because the underneath is sometimes hard to get to. With here, you use the same surface. You're not really going up, but you are in the game because obviously your miniatures down here, set of stairs, and now the other miniatures are up here because they've gone to the next level, up the stairs, right? It's all laid out on one floor, one level per se, but you have varying levels of the same floor, and that's really nice without actually having to go up. So I like that. I like that a lot. So you can see this one packs up a little differently than the other one. This one doesn't have a lot of in and out. And I like to turn them upside down simply because, and then you just put a top on it. And once again, once you push the rip, boom, there we go. And it's put away too. Look at that. So there you have it. All about a dozen, 18 to 24 rooms in 2 little boxes. And you can fit this. I mean, if you didn't want to put them back in the box, I like to keep it in the box because I want to protect the outside. That's completely up to you. I've seen people who have put some of these in like cases, leather cases that are felt on the inside. Really nice, different gaming bags and that kind of thing. I'm going to keep them in their boxes when I travel with them, simply to protect them. I really enjoy this. The craftsmanship that went into this is really nice. And I've got other dungeons, but I really enjoy this. Even though, yes, in all honesty, disclosure, I have not used them yet. I've set it up at home, and that's why they're open. I wanted to see what it looked like before I talked about them. And it's really nice. I've enjoyed it. It looks aesthetically appealing. The craftsmanship is good, so it's going to last a while. And it functions the way I need it to function. That's the most important thing. If something works for you, hey, there it is. So we've gone over a lot of stuff, but a lot of fun stuff. Don't forget, if you're going to get it, it's not like this thing is unlimited. The Phandelver and below. Okay, there it is. It's gorgeous. The book is gorgeous. The information, of course, is about Phandelver and its surrounding area and the campaign there, which is really cool. And the Veiled Dungeon, very nice product. I kind of showed off some miniatures and all kinds of good stuff. It's just I love being able to do this from a game store because I have access to so many things. The show's a little different than a lot of shows. Somebody was asking me about that. I wanted to address that. Yeah, the show is actually a lot different than most of the shows that you see on YouTube, and it was meant to be. It was purposely done. Every week when something comes in, I talk about it. I look at it, I try to read up on it, boom, and I throw it out there so that you can see it. Not everything, unfortunately, because we'd be here all day, but everything as far as Dungeons and Dragons related. And I'll even talk about things that, aren't Dungeons and Dragons related when they come in. We get to talk about events that are happening here locally, what the collective is up to. So that's what this show is really all about. It's John's Dungeon Corner. It's my little corner of the store that I get to use for the moment. But I love coming to the collective. We play games here. Antonio runs games here. The family comes out here. We do a lot of things with the collective and at the collective. The staff is wonderful. As I've said, I don't think there's anybody here who would not help you. Now, I will tell you, they have people that know a little bit more about one thing than the other, but that's okay. They all know a little bit about everything, or they can direct you to the person who does. Okay, so just want to say thanks to the collective for the show. It's going on. Actually, I started it in September 2 years ago. So literally, this is like its 2-year anniversary coming up. Actually, it was in October, I believe I started it. So we're coming up on the 2 years, and it's been a lot of fun. And I'm going to continue on. Next week, we're going to have a guest. And, sometimes I have a co-host now, and sometimes she's out doing things, and that's okay. I have guests that pop in and out, whether DMs or writers or whoever it may be. So that's it for today. But I will see you next week, all right? So as always, may the road rise up to meet your feet, and may all your adventures be successful. So this is John from John's Dungeon Corner at the Collective in Altamont Springs, Florida, saying see you next week. And I got a surprise for you guys next week. Well, we're going to try to have a surprise. I got a guest coming out. So I'll see you then. Have a great weekend. Take care.